Session. Over to you, Dan.
Thank you, and let's, without further ado, move on to our second band this evening. A six-piece from Brighton, who I'm very excited to have in session this evening. Soundcheck was fantastic. They are very, very nice gentlemen, despite them playing While We Waiting. We can hear you. We can hear you. Please welcome, everybody. This is Two Spot Gobi.
Hey!
Just as I climb the wall, just as the garden grows, and now the winter time is over. You've gotta go now, but I can't say when I'll touch down, or when the leaves are brown, or like a tree that's fallen over. I've gotta go now, and I can't say when I'll be back again, but I need you to see that you are still a friend for me. Goodbye is always a bitter kiss, and don't talk about all the things you'll miss, 'cause I know you make it easy for me. I am sorry, don't worry, you'll be alright. You make it easy for me. I am sorry, don't worry, you'll be alright. The days go by and so the seasons pass, and I know she'll be waiting just to see if I'm coming over, but I am nowhere. From San Diego to Tokyo, I can't say where, but man, I gotta go away. 'Cause I've stared across a city full of windows, watching how the people live. And there must be something more for us, but I'm not sure how much more we can give. You make it easy for me. I am sorry, don't worry, you'll be alright. You make it easy for me. I am sorry, don't worry, you'll be alright.
Bloody brilliant. That was just fantastic. Do you know what I love is just watching all of your faces here in this studio, and I just Larry just went whoa as I turned around to look. Just fantastic. That was a really, really interesting sound.
That's why women fall in love with musicians.
Yeah, yes. Sorry, say that again, Bibi.
That's why women fall in love with musicians. That it was just
Well, even trumpeters.
Especially trumpeters.
Well, because it was, I'm going to use, well, I'm not going to use the word, but you know the word, when something builds and builds and builds and builds, and you just think it did everything I wanted it to do. It
And
just
there
went
was some-
on and on. It was just fantastic.
And that was an unusual mix of instruments.
Very
I think.
unusual. See, I don't know enough about music, so I don't know. The musos in here will know, but I would have thought that was a very unusual mix of instruments. Larry?
Yeah, it's an unusual lineup, but really worked.
Yes.
And,
I love looking at your face. I just looked at the moment the trumpet,
Yeah.
you were like in heaven.
But
weren't
great
you?
good,
vocals
yeah,
again and
yeah.
great harmonies. I
Yes.
loved it.
all the way.
And I know,
all the way.
excuse me, because I talk in very strange terms because I don't know a great deal about music.
Yeah,
but I
Dan
love.
warned us about you.
I know.
You're not going to tell him I briefed you about, Joe.
But I love the way you came in with the vocals really sharp at the front of the song. It just immediately, it just was just, and I listened to the lyrics because usually I don't. I just listen to the music.
Oh, I messed them up, I think.
Well, I didn't notice. Never confess. Tony Moore. Sorry, Tony. There we go.
I thought it was fantastic. But also, it was nice to hear the expanded lineup because we've had the guys at the Bedfords. Just under a year ago, we had a big night for World Peace Day, which is the 21st of September. And they came up and did a spot there, and it was really wonderful, but not quite the full lineup. So it's a real joy to hear them. And I agree with everything you've just said. It's beautiful music, fantastic vocals. The addition of trumpet and cello to kind of a standard rock band, that really gives it some a real class. I think.
A real class. That's a great. Steve Somerset.
Tell you what I enjoyed is normally we have the drummer behind the band, and the guys were really feeding off each other by looking at the drummer, and I thought it was really great because it really,
And do you know?
because he's not on the camera, is he? And
keep him off. He's not good.
And also, you could just see all of you. I'm not patronising you. Really enjoying it. It was like you were really getting into it as well, which is you couldn't, but could you with that sort of lineup?
I'm sorry, we really don't know what to do with so much praise.
Here's Dan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what you can do is you can introduce yourselves. James, I should introduce you first. Hello.
Hi, Dan.
Hello. Now, what I need you to do, and this is, we don't tell you this beforehand because we want it to be as improv as possible. Introducing, starting with the drums, and then going around everybody and building up some sort of jam, if possible. Is that something we can do?
Yes, we can.
Absolutely.
James, starting with you then, my friend.
Start with the drums.
So we've got Mr. Ben Matthews on the drum kit. We've got Ben Daniel on bass guitar. Yeah. Dino Randau on electric guitar. We've got Rob Lewis on cello. Ellis on trumpet. And me joining in.
Oh, come on. Yes.
Yes.
That was That was kind of like Two Spot Gobi bells.
We didn't really know what we were doing there. So.
I enjoyed that. That
Yes.
was very well done. Very well improv, everybody. You can now relax for about 5 minutes because we need to get some questions in. And James, I guess you are lead singer. You immediately take the position of fronting the band. I guess, is that fair?
Okay, well, I've got generic answers for everything.
Okay, good. And I'm going to answer you yes/no questions as well. So
Okay,
just if
great.
you could do yes or no to the following.
Sure.
Where are you from?
Yes.
Correct answer. Yes, well, we should say you've introduced everyone. You've got James, Rob, Dino, Ben, Matt, and another Ben. Yeah, where are you all from? Brighton, isn't it?
We're a mixed bag, actually. We've got some people from the southwest. Ben on bass is from Cornwall, and I'm from Plymouth. And then Rob and Dino are from London. Matt is from Southwick, which is just near Brighton.
Yes.
And then Ben is actually from Essex.
Oh,
Yeah. So
sorry, Ben.
we can't.
That's why he's not on camera.
Yes, exactly. We keep him out of shot. So how did you all meet then, coming from all these different places?
Well, we basically met. Rob and I met at Sussex University through a mutual friend who I went to school with, and we kept on kind of promising to do stuff together, and it didn't work out until we'd had some nights out together, drinking beer and stuff around Brighton, and then one day we played together, and it kind of all went from there. I was living with Dino at the time, and we started writing songs together as a three. Rob was doing a music degree at the time, and we started demoing some tracks for his music course, which we then became our first EP, and we put the CDs around campus a little bit.
Yeah.
And basically, people started coming to, they started requesting live shows, and so over the summer, me and Rob were just like, well, everyone seems to be digging this, so how about we try and take it live? And that's when we met Ben and Matt and other Ben.
And what were you doing as a degree? Music? What was it? History and...
Rob was doing music, I was doing history, and Dino was doing history and politics.
Well, okay. What was it like studying a music degree and then sort of and being in a band?
Yeah, it was good actually. I mean, my degree wasn't really band stuff. It was kind of classical cello stuff, and so it's quite good to break away and use the studio there to do some different kind of things. And was writing like a lot of songs with cello and voice, and so it was cool to meet James and be able to like try out some new things. And yeah, so I try and push it in different directions really. So
because what they teach you and what I was sort of going on is sort of they'll give you a sort of, this is how it's done, 1 2 3 ABC, and being in a band I guess is very much not like that at times. You know, what we heard now with putting a bass and cello and electric guitar and trumpet together isn't probably what they taught you in your music degree.
No, it's definitely not. But it's kind of cool because I try and use all the kind of bits and pieces that learned from studying cello, and sort of trying to incorporate it into sort of, I guess, pop music really. But yeah, it's interesting having like a trumpet as well and working together and that sort of thing, and sort of trying to make a bit of a signature sound to the band. And yeah, it's cool.
And how long have you been playing together for?
Almost 6 years.
Yeah, nearly 6 years.
6 years now.
In September it will be 6 years since we did our first rehearsal together.
And has your sound changed a lot since then?
It's changed loads. We've had a few other band members who've kind of come and gone, and we all very amicable, all super amicable.
And they're here this evening, guys.
They're all here.
Bring them in.
Hi guys, wonderful to see you again.
Get a bass section, the 3-part bass section.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. We're still in touch with them, and they come to our shows. They're really great buddies of ours.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, our sound has evolved a lot. We've kind of learnt a lot ourselves, and we were very kind of. We've got loads of different influences. Everyone has very different musical tastes, and when we come to rehearsal, we just try and figure it all out. I mean, our sound's really evolved over the years. I can't really tell you what it's evolved into. So, but yeah, we just try and make music all the time that we really enjoy and that we find fun to play.
Well, I've got the album in front of me here, The Sun Will Rise. We'll talk about that. It's a really well-polished, produced album. Sounds great. I've enjoyed it many a time. We're hearing 4 songs off this evening. In fact, 3 off this. One is off... what's the other one going to be on?
The other one is off our old album.
It's off the old album.
It's a single we released off our old album, yeah.
Okay, and we've got Jason Mraz to talk about and all of that sort of stuff.
Can I just butt in?
Of course you
Is
may.
it true that you live in Seven Dials in Brighton?
We do, 3 of us. Joe,
Oh.
3 of us live in Seven Dials.
That's where my flat is, Vernon Terrace. Do you know Vernon Terrace?
just round the corner.
Opposite Montpelier Crossing. Oh, really? What
We'll see
number
you in
is she at?
Co-op.
I might see her in the Co-op. I choose usually to use the Waitrose at the bottom of the
Yeah,
hill.
it's better.
Nice.
Late nights
So
going back from
good.
rehearsals.
Do you ever go to the flower shop that's in the toilets called Flushed?
Beg your pardon. Oh, I see. A flower. Right,
Yes,
I just got that.
I saved that copper beech tree at Seven Dials. It was all down to me campaigning. Otherwise, we'd have lost
You
that.
campaign.
It was you standing outside that tree.
Yes,
with
it
you.
was.
Oh, Joe.
And I was the original Swampy of Brighton.
Good times, Joe. Well done.
Yeah, I know. Happy days.
We can usually be found purchasing bacon tasties and beer supplies for the all-night 24-hour
Oh, yes.
at Seven Dials.
Well, I'm pleased we got that out of Joe's system because it's a must.
It's
to
the
talk
best
about
place
Brighton.
to live in Brighton, isn't it, though?
It definitely
Seriously,
is.
because you can walk everywhere from there.
What about it musically though? Is it
Well,
good?
I was going to ask, where do you play? Do you play at the Commedia, or what is the club down on the beach that they filmed the original?
Digital, I think. Is that digital?
There's
Audio?
Digital and Life and
Yeah.
Coalition.
Might have been.
But we play at Comedia. Comedia's
Commedia,
are
yeah.
probably one of our favourite
Commedia
venues
is
to play.
probably one of the best things to happen to Brighton.
Oh,
Yeah, it's amazing.
King
We
and
love it.
Queen, do you ever play there?
No.
Down on
We
the Brighton
played
Road?
at Audio recently. That's cool
Alright.
as well.
So I know my venues.
Very good.
Unfortunately, a lot of shut, of course.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Show my
Thank you,
age.
corporations.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we can talk about that actually, and the whole talk about venues and closing down and where there is actually support, and which is why one of the reasons we'd started doing this show is because where else can you do a sort of a full electric session on the radio with 3 tracks, 4 sometimes, with an interview and chat, and it's on the iPlayer for 7 days. So we're very proud to be able to do this, but it's not unfortunately able to happen anywhere else.
It's
Anyway.
very cool. Very, very
Do you realise, Dan, what happened? Because we used to do a venue a week, and we'd run out of venues in the
kind of
end.
have, yeah.
We ran out of all. That shows how few venues there are in London.
We
That,
did the Albert Hall 7 times, then we thought actually we should
Yeah.
probably stop this.
but that's and they were closing. So
Yeah.
so
If
there aren't that
if
many.
anyone's listening from a venue, and I know a lot of people in the music industry do listen to this show, do definitely get in touch with us. If it's your venue, if you're sort of supporting it, or it's something that you're involved in, a project, let us know, because we've in fact got a guy from a venue coming in shortly, actually, in a couple of weeks' time, I think. Anyway, enough chat about this. We can talk about
Actually,
that later.
Dan, Joe,
Yes.
there is a new venue just opened, actually, the World's End in Kings Road.
Really?
Yeah, the old World's End Distillery. It's where the Stones used to practice in the old days. And they've got a cellar room, which is where they used to do it. And they started music one night a week.
Rob, do you know
so
about
that's
this?
good.
Rob on cello.
No. But
Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
I saw Rob on cello on the corner of my eye talking.
So
I
what
thought, oh,
used to be there was a studio.
It used to be it used to be an old pub, and they used to have
Right.
a sort of cellar room where the Stones used to sort of rehearse. And now they've sort of turned it into, it's a lovely old building. It's American diner, and they've got a seafood place upstairs. But downstairs, they've got this cellar bar which they've sort of kept and sort of
There we are, Dan. We must
jazzed
get
up a
them
bit.
in, Larry.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
They
know
just
it-
start every Thursday night. They're doing live music there.
Okay, well, we
So
must
there
get-
is hope yet.
Yeah, exactly. That's the first time we've heard one opening, because
Yeah.
all it's been is closures. Thank you.
And keep your calls coming as well for the vinyl vote that we're doing. What are the two, Stephen, that we've got? The two choices this
We've
evening?
got In My Chair by Status Quo and Cry by Godly and Cream.
At the moment, all the callers are asking for Godly and Cream. So we've got a few more minutes, though, if you want to come through with
Francis
text.
much
Rossi
support for
wants
that
to ring
choice.
himself.
Okay,
Yes.
band is supporting that as well. Okay. All right, well, let's get the second track then from Two Spot Gobi. What are we going to hear?
We're going to hear the single that we released off our last album, and it's called Sunshine Lady.
Over to you, thank you.
Sometimes it feels like I can't let go. How will it be on the Joe Good Show?
Yes.
Look back to see that I can't sit still. Beneath the stars we're safe from harm, but I wonder if it's real. All these things go around my head, pick me up when I'm alone. This just means too much to me. Incessantly playing songs we know, pick me up when we have shown. Take a chance and let's just see. 'Cause when the sun shines lately, I've got you on my mind. Sunshine lady. When the sun shines lately, I've got you on my mind. Sunshine lady. I think it's time that we set things straight. I've lost the chase, I've lost the time. Now it's blown away, away. All these things go around my head, pick me up when I'm alone. This just means too much to me. Session to playing songs we know, pick me up when we are shown. Take a chance and let's just see. Cause when the sun shines lately, I've got you on my mind. Sunshine lady. When the sun shines lately, I've got you on my mind. Sunshine lady. We never change, we never change. We never change, we never change. No, we never change, we never change. We never change, we never change. We never change, we never change. No, we never change, we never change. What you say?
You say yes. Ah, Two Spot Gobi and.
Name caused James to mess up his lyrics at the beginning.
See, I didn't know. Well, as long as you mention me, I don't notice. You see, just play to my ego. Quick, just have a quick chat to the panel. Let's kick off with Bibi.
See, I'm scared of saying anything because it sounds like I'm going to follow the boys home, but I am a little in love with them.
It's a long way to the south coast.
I can walk. They're just so fantastic, and I can't go on about the instruments. I'm waving now or anything like that.
Again,
but all I can say is, it's how music makes you feel, and to me that makes me kind of want to be on a beach with a drink, and maybe Brighton Beach, maybe somewhere in Jamaica, and it just feels happy and lovely and brilliant and fresh. And I loved when Dan was talking about asking the boys about the question about what the style is, because you can't kind of put your finger on it, but that's kind of what's brilliant and unique and brilliant about them, and I think you're really excellent. Well done.
That's bit on the back of the album. I don't know if you can put that in. Bibi Lynch said,
yes. Follow the boys home, bit by Bibi Lynch. Yes, no, I absolutely concur. I love that word. With all of that, because I just to watch you, and that's what I think is, to drive listening to you would be great, but to watch you as well, because it's so visual, having all those instruments, and also watching people who are really enjoying the music they're making. Larry.
Well, I think it's definitely the Brighton effect, as you say, that sort of beach.
The Brighton effect. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Saturday night in Brighton.
Very nice. No, I mean, as I say, I think it's such an interesting lineup. And it sort of works in ways that you don't really expect. I think that's the strength of the band. All sorts of little things keep popping out when you don't expect them, and
I agree. Tony.
That's the Brighton effect.
Brighton. Moving swiftly on.
Is right on.
I think that they're kind of like folky in a non-folky way. That has all the kind of organic elements of real instruments. I think the sound is quite enveloping. it just kind of wraps around you, and it just feels comfortable.
I think that's a really lovely way of saying it.
We're just sat here watching. Actually, we're watching a monitor. We're not even watching them. We can't see them through the window, and we're watching the monitor as if we were in the room with them, really enjoying it. It's brilliant, and I think there's enormous talent in Brighton right now. There's so many artists coming to the Bedford that come from Brighton. It's like there's a real musical movement. Maybe something to do with BIM being there. Maybe something just to do with how towns and cities had their moment, like Bristol had that whole scene with Portishead and Massive Attack and Tricky and Ronnie Size and that kind of stuff. But
the thing is, and you guys will back me up, being a student in Brighton probably has to be the best it's ever going to get, and usually you don't want to leave, and that's why it's got such a young vibe about it, is that students usually stay on after they've graduated. So
there was a girl came up today to do a show in Balham called Frankie Young.
Really? She's a good friend of ours.
Yeah, she's amazing, isn't she?
See, there's also a Brighton Mafia, which you all love.
She's got a fabulous voice, amazing piano player. And this guy called Jim Stapley that's got some guys in his band that come from Brighton. Also Common Tongues, I don't know if you know those guys. Anyway, but I
remember Nizlopi? Nizlopi came from Brighton as well.
No.
Yeah.
They were Sussex University, I think.
Yeah, and one of them went out with my yoga teacher. Sorry, I could go on forever.
And the other one was playing bass for you tonight.
Really?
John was the bass player from Nizlopi.
No!
Yeah.
You are joking.
No.
Why did I not realise?
Because I didn't tell you.
Because of Nizlopi. Sorry about this. Does everyone remember Nizlopi? Because they had this. They had this Combine Harvey,
the JCB
song. And then did they disband? Is that
yes, about 3 years ago.
Right,
but I've got some news, but I can't say anything for a little while.
They're back together.
No, but
and they're here this evening. Bring them in, everybody. Welcome, guys.
You'll start the new band with our old members.
But I'll tell you off air because
when I first did this show, Dan, when I did this show like 7 years ago, they used to drive up through the night because I think they were all in Devon then, because their dad was in Devon and he was like their manager, and he'd drive them all in.
In a JCB.
Kieran, on a JCB. And they'd come on.
Why take so long?
Then they were on Radio 1, and then, I like to think I played a part in their success. I'm joking. I'm really joking.
I remember us talking about that when I first came on the show with you.
That I said I thought I played a part in their success. No Christmas card, no postcard.
Because they did your show in Brighton, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they did you a jingle?
Yes, they did. Joanne be good, Joanne be good, Joanne be good. That's all.
You used to play it all the time.
Yeah. Might still have it.
Yes.
Dig out the archives.
Yes. Happy days we had, didn't we? Steve Somerset.
Yeah, I loved it. I love the band, and the cello part in that was exquisite, and something that you weren't expecting, and then suddenly it was there, and it was beautiful. I really like that a lot.
Oh, thanks. Talk about us again.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Right, well, should we talk about the album then?
We can.
Okay, it's called The Sun Will Rise. Tell us a little bit about that.
The Sun Will Rise is a lyric in the song called Tomorrow, which is on the album and actually features Jason Mraz, who's really kind and allowed us to have his house for the whole summer. And that's where we recorded the album in California, San Diego County in 2009.
I think this is an amazing story, Panel and Joe. Listen to this, because you guys were... Where were you playing in this gig?
We were playing in my hometown of Plymouth, and basically Jason was supporting James Blunt on tour, and he happened to have a night off the night before he was due to play at Plymouth Pavilions with James Blunt, and the venue that we were playing in the night before was a stone's throw away, and he happened upon the gig, and he came up to us afterwards, and I was blown away because I was a big fan of his, and I think I was probably a bit too much of a fan, and I kind of had to palm him off on the other guys, and they kind of struck it off with him and stayed in touch, and Rob went and stayed with him and played with him a few times, and then we stayed in touch ever since, and he's been really, really amazing to us and very, very helpful. We love him and his management, and basically we went on tour with him in Portugal and the US, and we continue to stay in touch with him.
What's his house like?
It's really nice. It's very modest, and it's really beautiful. It's kind of secluded in avocado groves. It's the rolling hills of San Diego. It's absolutely beautiful. You couldn't have hoped for a more kind of isolated spot to write a record in the summertime.
And how many houses does he have?
I think he's just got the one house.
Oh, so he was there with you?
He was on tour.
Or was he on tour?
He was on tour. He came back kind of now and again, but he was on tour.
See, I don't think he's as nice as you play off, because if I was going away for 6 months on tour, I'm thinking, I'm going to have to get the dog walk. I'm going to have to pay for the cat.
We looked after
be...
his cats.
Well, there you go. You guys were cheap housemaids, pretty much. You just use the studio, but do you mind feeding Molly and Charlie? Yeah, thanks very much.
Actually, it was funny because we spent most of the summer. The cats weren't allowed outside because they get eaten by coyotes.
Oh, God.
So we spent most of the summer, like, every time we opened the door, a cat would run between our legs, and we spent most of the summer actually not recording anything, but just looking for cats in this forest. So it was actually just a welcome break to get home.
That's why I see track 9 on the album's called I Chased the Cat Out the Door. Yeah, I can see the influences you were going on there. Very good. Okay, so you actually recorded it in his home studio, and you were there for, how long were you there for then?
2 months.
2 months, solidly. That's probably the longest time I've ever, when I've asked that question, it's usually been, 2 weeks in the studio, or 2 months constantly in studio, recording, reworking, rewriting,
Yeah.
We did a lot of surfing and eating when we were there as well.
I'd hope so, yeah.
A lot of eating.
What was that like for the 6 of you all out there?
Got fat.
It was really amazing. I mean, because the thing about Jason's house is it's very out of the way, and it was a really productive environment. We had a nice big live room. We had all the instruments set up, so we could just go into the studio and work whenever we wanted. We had a fantastic producer and engineer, Nico Bolas, was a producer, and he's done lots of albums for Neil Young, and he's worked with Sting and all sorts of people. And he's just a great guy, and he really got the band and what we were all about. And he pretty much stopped working on a project when he heard our demo, and jumped in a car from Nashville and drove all the way up to us straight away after hearing it. So it was a kind of strange thing, but it worked out amazingly. And in our downtime, we surfed and went to the beach and made lots of new friends. And we now have a great community of people that we really, really like, and we stay in touch with all the time.
Ever been back?
We've been back, and we're actually hoping to go back in October for a few dates. Towards the end of October, around California and perhaps New York as well.
Brilliant. Well, it's Two Spot Gobi in session this evening on the Sunday night sessions with Joe Good. We've heard 2 songs. We heard You Make It Easy and Sunshine Lady. 2 more to go. The next one, guys, I Remember.
The next one's going to be Simon's song. We decided to switch around. Sorry, Dan.
No, that's fine. You just muck up my notes. No, that's fine. So this next one is Simon's song.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about the song, because I wanted to know who Simon was.
Simon was a friend of mine from school, and the song was kind of inspired by a conversation that I had with him. But more recently, we actually filmed the video in London, and it has kind of an Olympic theme, because the message of the song is everything will be all right, and it's kind of about overcoming adversity. And one of my good friends, Lawrence Halstead, who fences in the Great British team and will be representing the UK next year, or Great Britain I should say, next year in the Olympics, starred in the video, and it's kind of a Rocky Balboa kind of storyline, but with British fencing, and it's all really nicely shot around the Mayfair area. And so I suppose we dedicate this one to our athletes next year, and send our best wishes for everyone involved. This one goes out to you guys.
All right, Two Spot Gobi in session for us.
Your troubles far behind you. You should leave your sorrows at the door. Slowly, when you're ready, lights will guide you, lead you to what you've been searching for. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. And everything will be alright. Be alright. Feeling like a soldier under fire. Feel as if you're a million miles from home. Just look up to the skies that we're all under. I promise you'll never be alone. Everything will be alright. to open. Now I'm just waiting. There's a face that you know. Well, open your tower. You can see the world spinning, but for now you are home. You are home. You are home. You are home. You are home.
What a brilliant end as well to it. There we go. That is tonight's fantastic band, second band. I'd love to know where you get your name from, actually.
Well, it's actually a fairly boring story, but I'll say.
Don't have to. I mean, I feel like Joe's pushed you like Paxman.
Yeah, sorry. Two Spot Gobi.
Yeah, I was reminded the other day by some of my friends from Plymouth that when we used to go on nights out in Plymouth, we used to walk down, when we were at school, we used to walk down into town and we used to sing and we used to be merry and beatbox and sing, and we kind of came up with this name which was kind of half a name for what we were doing, which was really just nothing, but it was also a name that we kind of wanted to make into a clothing company. Never happened. The band was unsuccessful. Well, it never got off the ground. And when we came to naming our project at Sussex, we needed a name for the group, and we just couldn't think of anything better. Basically, we had some fairly horrendous suggestions, and we kind of thought Two Spot Gobi, why not? It's a bit unusual, and maybe people will remember it.
And is it two, when people do the search on Google, which they will do definitely after the programme, is it two number two or two spelt two?
It's TWO spelt two.
Okay, very good. Two Spot Gobi, G-O-B-I.
Two Spot Gobi. Can I just say, before we have the final track, Chris has emailed in saying Nislopia from Warwickshire, not Brighton.
Well.
I don't think that's true, actually. Far be it from me to criticise a listener, but I'm sure they're from... Well, they are from Brighton. Tony Moore, back me up.
Warwickshire.
What I'm telling
you did a real good job of backing her up there, Tom.
Yeah, shoot her down.
They're really from Warwickshire.
They're not around anymore, so
Hang on a moment. My yoga teacher went out with one of them, and that...
I just thought they went to Sussex University.
Yeah, or maybe that's what it was. They've driven through Brighton anyway.
I'm sure they've been there once. Yeah.
On a JCB.
On a JCB, yes, absolutely.
Leamington Spa.
That's Godley and Cream, right? Sorry, loads of people.
More votes, okay.
We're getting more votes, and we will actually, in a moment, play the track, and we will give you the final vote. Can I just say quickly to my panel, because two of my panel here have got venues of their own, that we can quickly say what's on before we go to the final track. Let's Larry Pryce, Dover Street, Monday nights.
Monday night, the special swing sessions. Yes, we've got a special dance class now. If you want to come down and strut your funky stuff on the Lindy Hop.
Pardon?
Well, Dan, I expect to see you tomorrow.
Of course, I'm going to be down there when I can strut my funky stuff. Yeah.
Exactly.
No,
Well
that's
said.
great. The swing dance company are doing these classes, which are great, and followed by a great swing band. Tomorrow night we've got T.J. Johnson. Then we've got Little Harlem the week after, which is a smaller version of Blue Harlem. Then Neil Drinkwater's Red Stripe Band. It's all good stuff. So come and learn how to dance, and then just dance the night away.
Fantastic. That's Monday nights down at Dover
every
Street.
Monday night. Yeah.
And 5 other nights of the week you've got.
Yeah, of course. We've got all sorts
jazz.
of other bands. Big Girls Blues Band coming back on Wednesday 24th. That's always a good night.
And you can dine and listen.
You certainly can.
Fantastic, Larry
and,
Pryce.
Stay till 3 a.m.
Thank you. You get onto their website and you'll get all the details, which is Dover
www.doverst.co.uk.
Thank you. Tony Moore over at the Bedford in Balham.
Well, one thing I want to say very quickly, we're very proud we won an award 10 days ago.
Yes, well done.
The end of June, 30th of June, as I was at Hot Farm getting ready for the show, at the House of Commons, Mike Weatherly, who's a Conservative MP from Hove and Port Slade.
There you go, boys.
Launched an initiative called Rock the House to help develop interest within the Parliament for small venues and unsigned bands. And we won Best Small Venue in the country.
So you should.
And I wasn't there, but our manager went down and got an award, and so I'm very, very proud of that. And secondly, we're launching the London Folk Fest. Bizarrely enough, London doesn't have a folk festival until now. So the last week of July, 25th to the 28th at the Bedford, we've got 4 nights of great music, including bands like the Travelling Band from Manchester, who are amazing.
I love them, yeah.
We've got Jamie Lawson, Lucy Rose, Dunwell Brothers
Love
Band.
Lucy Rose. She's been in. Sorry,
Dan's
I'm
gonna be
plugging
down
away
there.
any connection we have.
Dan, you'll have to come on down and do a
we
location
must.
report.
We should
south of
take the
river.
show down there. There we go.
So we're going to do that for 4 nights, and on the 4th day, the Thursday, the 28th, we're going to have a day of panels to help musicians get information about how they can advance their careers. New income streams, so we've got people going to tell you about different ways of making money and how to work for the future. Management. Right, so we're going to have 4 top managers telling you what you need to know about management, and finally a song drop, so people can have their songs critiqued by a panel of experts. So,
and a radio presenter, Dan, you should be down there. How to get them on the radio?
Exactly.
Of course.
So that's the final week of July.
25th to 28th of July.
Fantastic.
Bedford.com.
Bedford.com. Right, all the details on there. Now, don't forget we've got our final bit of vinyl as well. Who won? You will find out. Supplied by Steve Somerset. But now let's have the final track from this amazing band, a truly special band here. How many weeks have we been doing this show? And this is
7 months we've been doing this
7 months
now, yeah.
and Two Spot Gobi, quite unique sound, and I really do mean that. What is the final
And also,
track?
well, just quickly on I know we're pushed for time, but just very quickly, you're talking about teaching and all the, well, we should talk really about the guys' schools workshop that they run, because James, you as a band go to schools and teach kids how to play, because all of you are really tight and sort of really on the whole sort of sound, and it's really well produced, and you all know your instruments very, very well. I'm jealous of that, of Ben's drum kit. Just I'm going to put that out there. If I can take that away, that's great. But you kids come and train with you, and you teach them how to play music. And
We do interactive workshops, and we've been doing so for almost a year now, in and around London and all over the UK. Rob, do you want to say a bit about it?
Yeah, it's called Music Set Free, and it's like a project that really we stumbled upon when we got asked to come into a school by some people who'd seen us supporting Jason Mraz at the Hammersmith Apollo. And we basically just sort of went in and did a workshop there, and it went down really well. We had a good time, everyone else had a good time, and we thought actually this could be a cool thing to do. So we started doing it on a bigger scale, and we got some Arts Council funding for it recently, which was real cool.
Oh, brilliant.
And we've been sort of going across the UK and just going into schools and sort of getting young people interested and inspired in music, and doing a gig as well. And so we've been really fortunate to get the support of Bose to provide the PA for us, and it's just a really fun thing to be doing, and
it's really inspiring, because there's a lot of talented children in the UK.
Well, well done, Bose, and well done you guys for doing it all. That's fantastic. Where can people finally see you then? Where can we go?
We've got a gig coming up on September the 1st at the 100 Club, where it's actually the kind of single release party for the next track we're going to be playing, called I Remember. So that's the 100 Club on the 1st of September in London.
Brilliant. And website details finally then?
Well, website details, I was actually going to mention the track Tomorrow, which Jason Mraz is singing on, is actually available if you go on our Twitter. The last tweet that we made, if you repeat that tweet, then you get the track for absolutely nothing. You get it for free. All you need to do is retweet the tweet.
Which, now that's confusing, but you are twitter.com/
Two Spot Gobi, all one word, and that tweet will be available as soon as we finish this set and I press post on the Twitter thing.
You better hurry up playing cello then, Rob.
I'll play double speed.
Yes, double speed cello, please.
Clever, isn't it?
Well, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks
We've
so
really
much for
enjoyed
having us. We really, really have enjoyed it today.
Oh, thank you very much. It means a lot, and it's great to have you in. Great sound, and we love. We've loved having you in for 3 songs. Why not have a 4th? What's it going to be? I Remember.
It's called I Remember.
Over to you.
And thank you very much, Dan. Thank you, Joe, and thank you, lovely panel people.
Thank you so
We
much.
love you.
And good evening, London.
It was a secret place we often used to go. We spoke a language there that only we would know. Now I still speak to you, now we are growing old. Let's go back to then. I would stumble on the pavement, we could laugh about it all. By the ocean, in the moonlight, let's go back to then. 'Cause I remember when there was me and there was you and we had all the time to spend. Let's go back to then. I'll see the children playing on the avenues, and in the summer rain we're dancing with no shoes. I hear that music now, it makes me think of you. Let's go back to then. We are moving, can you feel it? We are changing all the time. I can see you, there's a moment. Let's go back to then. 'Cause I remember when it was me and it was you and we had all the time to spend. Let's go back to then. I wish that we were born to live forever. I wish that we could all get all together forever, forever. Let's go back to then. 'Cause I remember when it was me and it was you and we had all of the time to spend. Let's go back to then. Can we go back to then? 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 Can we go back to then?
Two Spot Gobi, and yes, if you want to have a look at them, you can do so by going to the BBC website. And
I wish that's what we were called.
Ja- what was their name? What did you just call them? You've done it again. We made it to almost midnight without a hiccup.
did I say?
You said the.
Do you know why? Forgive me.
No. Do you
no.
wanna
But
know
forgive
why?
me. But do you know why? Seriously, if I tell you why, do
Yeah.
no, there is a connection, and anyone that knows George will know the connection, and it's not what you think. He
Oh,
had a
that's true,
band called
actually,
G Spot. Sorry, and I don't know why I said that. Two Spot Gobi. I am so sorry.
I enjoyed it.
I am
that.
really, really
enjoyed
sorry.
it.
But somebody I know did have a band called G Spot, and I think I must have just been thinking about them. I'm really, really sorry.
That's what you were
We'll take that off the iPlayer. Oh, well, I don't know how to take it off the iPlayer. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, and forgive me for making a mistake of your name at the end. Two Spot Gobi there, and literally probably the most entertaining band and special band that's been on since I've been doing this show. And I think all the